Hello. Let's talk a little bit about the scientific method, its forerunner, which was natural philosophy. Let's talk about the definition of chemistry and its forerunner, alchemy. A scientific law is a statement on repeated observations that describes a phenomenon in nature. You could also just say it's a fact about nature. That's what a scientific law is. You know some of these already. The law of gravity, what goes up must come down, that Sir Isaac Newton helped to formulate, supposedly when he sat under an apple tree and got hit in the noggin. Law of conservation of energy, that energy is neither created or destroyed in everyday chemical or physical processes. Law of conservation of matter, that matter is neither created nor destroyed in chemical processes. Kepler's three laws of planetary motion, you may have heard of those. Boyle's law, that pressure times volume for a constant amount of gas at constant temperature is equal to a constant. Le Chatelier's principle involving equilibria, that's another scientific law. And later on in your chemistry studies this year, you'll hear about the Nernst equation that describes the voltage of an electrochemical cell as it varies with the changing concentrations of the components in the cell. So these are all scientific laws. They're facts about nature. Well, being scientists, we want to not just observe and tell what happens. We want to understand how it happens and why it happens. And so the scientific method is something that we employ to study science. We state a problem, we formulate a hypothesis, we design experiments to test our hypothesis, we collect the data, we analyze the data, and we draw a conclusion. And so that hypothesis was just a tentative explanation for our set of observations that we had made from the problem that we are looking at. If the conclusion is true, after we analyze the data, we have something we call a theory. A theory is the unifying principle that explains a body of facts and or those laws that are based on them in science. If our hypothesis did not hold up, it wasn't true, then we go back and formulate a new hypothesis and it all starts over again. Theories are not laws. Theories keep changing over the years as we get better instrumentation, better ways of thinking about things. Theories might get modified or might even get discarded. One example of this is our understanding of the atom as we've gone from Bohr's model to a quantum mechanical model of the atom. We'll talk about that a little bit later in this semester. Natural philosophy was the forerunner of modern science. It was, as its name suggests, just a philosophical study of nature. There was no experimentation that took place. It was all folks sitting around arguing, discussing what they thought, how nature operated. And whoever came up with the best sounding ideas were given the right to claim that that was the way the nature operated. And so philosophers would sit around and discuss things. Whoever had the best sounding ideas, that had to be it. One example would be fire. In our once upon a time notion that there were just four elements: earth, air, fire, and water. How could that be? Well, if you threw a green log on a fire, you can see the four elements being formed. Fire, you can see that. The smoke rising from the fire dissipated into the air, which is the second element. What was left after the fire was burnt, done over and over with, was the ashes. That was the earth. And if it was a green log, you can see the sap boiling out the end of the log. So there's your water. And so by mixing these four different elements in different combinations, you would come up with all the different substances and objects on Earth. That was their idea, the natural philosophers. Of course, we have a much better understanding of how things are in chemistry today. So what is chemistry? Chemistry is the study of matter and the changes it undergoes. The study of matter, the changes it undergoes. Where matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. So unless you've got a vacuum, you've got matter. Matter is stuff. Whether you can see it or not, it's all around us. Particularly, we will look at substances. And a substance is a form of matter that has a definite composition and distinct properties. And so we'll talk about substances as being either elements or compounds. Where did chemistry come from? It came from something that was called alchemy. Alchemy comes from an Arabic word, al-Khaimiyai, which means black earth, which we referred to the land of Egypt, the fertile soil of the Nile Delta. Geber was a famous alchemist from Egypt. So alchemy was the forerunner of chemistry. And so who were the forerunner of chemists? They were called alchemists. What did they try to do? Well, there were three things they were after. One of the things is they were looking for the philosopher's stone, something that would change base substances into gold. They wanted to get rich. They were entrepreneurs of the type. They were looking for an elixir of life, some sort of fountain of youth potion. Most oftentimes they wound up poisoning themselves, actually. And they were looking for the panacea, a cure-all for any sort of disease. They operated very secretly and often wrote their experiments and results in some sort of code. And oftentimes when they died, they went whatever their secrets that they had learned with them. But eventually, they became more open and sharing of ideas, doing more experimentation, and gave rise to what our modern chemistry is. So that's a quick overview of the scientific method and chemistry. Thanks for listening.